Won't work, Ellie. Why won't AB repeat work on this?
I don't know, but
thing?
it sucks a flaccid penis. But I did really want to be able to bring up Party Boy, so we could like start with that again.
Oh, okay. No, it's fine. Hi, everyone. It's 2 Minute Terminator. I'm Ethan McKinley, your host, and it is episode 6. I'm looking over to my co-host, Ellie Fitzgerald, who's now flagging.
Why am I flagging? I'm waiting for you to finish.
Ugh.
Oh! No, because I always end up talking over you, and then you look at me like I've just fucking... I don't know.
You do swear too much on the show, I will say that. Hit the music. Yeah.
Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger, to me.
Hi, I'm Chief Master Sergeant William Candy.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
And we're back. Hello, everyone. It's the 2 Minute Terminator, or the 2-3-T... what is it? T3-2T.
That's the one.
We are going from minutes 10 to 12, the 2 minutes bridging that gap, and it starts with shopping with Claire Danes, playing Kate Brewster, the lovely redhead who may or may not have been the girl that said, I think he went to the Galleria in Terminator 2, and he ends with, well, the arrival
Big ball of flames.
a big ball of flames, which signifies the arrival of Arnold Schwarzenegger, a naked Austrian, who claimed he'd worked out to get the exact body measurements he had in Terminator 1.
But he doesn't, because his ass is non-existent.
He
And
does
he
look.
had an ass in the
He does
first
look
one.
remarkably slight compared to his previous.
He does.
He doesn't even look as big. I
His
tell a lie.
chest looks pretty hench.
He did say he was going for the exact measurements of Terminator 2, so I did a bit of a white lie there. But even then, he didn't look quite that big.
He didn't, did
He doesn't look as well. Like in Terminator 1, he looks just all inflated, doesn't he? Like
Nah.
completely blown up, and he looks like. I mean, actors nowadays can achieve that look. Now, I think the guy that plays Thor was probably as big as Schwarzenegger in Terminator 2. Now, do you not think? Jews.
No, Thor's big, but I don't think he's as big.
Right.
He's pretty beefy.
Hmm.
Don't get me wrong. And you're going to absolutely hate me for saying this, but I'm going to say it because I don't care if you hate me. I can't help but when I saw that movie, I just thought, fuck, he looks like Ben Newton.
Yeah. Okay. You're allowed.
do you hate
You're
me
allowed
for
that.
saying that?
Not at all. Not at all.
Do you not think he does, though?
No.
He's a much better looking version.
Ben Newton looks like
But, you know,
a
he's
butch
got
kind
the
of.
long blonde hair.
No, but he's got that kind of Gene Wilder feel to him. Like
What did you do?
if you roided up Gene Wilder and gave him like a mix of hair of David Essex,
So it really would have been Lady in Red? Or Lady in the Red Dress?
Krista Berg. No.
Oh my god, you're just like Kelly Lip.
But anyway, I've got an answer to your question.
Well, which was?
Well, you asked 2 episodes back, I think, who plays Kate Brewster's father, who she's on the phone to while shopping, and who plays the boyfriend. I have those answers for you and the listeners right now.
Is this a fact attack?
It's a fact attack.
Fact attack.
Pa-ching, 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 ding, ping.
There you go. Keeping it different. Fresh.
Right, this was Arnold Schwarzenegger's last starring role before he went into office in 2003, Ellie.
Okay.
He became the governor of California, elected on the 7th of October, 2003.
Why are you pouting at me?
Because you just the bemused expression on your face because you're really not into doing this show, so I'm just like, like going, and yeah, there we go.
I'm just a bit confused because we were talking about Bruce's dad, and you've now gone on to talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger going into
What about Bruce's dad?
Brewster. Claire Brewster? No, not Claire Brewster. Claire Danes' dad. You were saying who the actor was.
Kate Brewster
Kate
plays.
Brewster.
Is played by Claire
Claire
Danes.
Danes.
Oh my god, we should have done this show earlier. I'm up a dead.
It's my fault. I've been out. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, basically, the guy that plays her dad, in answer to your question, Ellie, is an actor called David Andrews.
And what else has he been in?
Well, I'd love to tell you, but
The internet sucking a fat dick.
it's playing up ever so slightly. However, I'm going to get my... Oh, we've got him back. David Andrews is here. There's David Andrews. He plays Kate Brewster's dad. He's in Fight Club, Terminator
Who the fuck
3,
is he in Fight Club?
World War Z. He's in Apollo 13. And his career spans all the way back to 1964.
Jesus, how old is he?
He was born in 51, so he'd be about 13 then. So he's been an actor. Well, his real kind of career began in 1982. He was in Trapper John M.D. He was in The Paper Chase. He's in A Nightmare on Elm Street. He played the foreman.
He was.
Ooh.
Oh, no, he wasn't who I thought he was.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the kind of start of his career essentially. So in some respects, he's a little bit like Johnny Depp.
Is there I swear to God, I've
Cherry
heard-
2000, he's in that too. Your favourite Manley Griffith movie? Go on.
I swear there's some significance about the amount of stars that you have on your shoulder when you're when you're like a soldier, because he's got 3. Am I imagining that?
No, on the epaulets.
Yeah.
Stars on epaulets.
How many? Does that mean like you've reached like general stage if you've got like 5? Or it shows basically how far you've risen in the ranks, surely, the amount of stars.
It does.
Her daddy's got 3.
U.S. Army.
Yep, 3. What does that mean? What are you doing?
I'm just adjusting the gain on the sound.
You're not a DJ.
Oh god, this is such a bad energy show, isn't it?
I can't help you such the energy out my ass when I go home.
I didn't mean to, but you kept pressing me for questions about why I felt so down, and then I explained to you that I've been ripping my hair out for days trying to get this equipment to work, trying to get these programs to work so I can start doing Skype podcasting. Without the ability to do that, my show's finished, so I was a little bit down, and you kept insisting and pressing for an answer. When I gave you the answer, that seemed to knock the wind out of your sails. I could only, say in future, don't ask.
Okay. Can we start whispering now?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
4 stars is a general. And you've heard that in many films, like, oh, he's a 4-star general and stuff. So that's a general. I'm not sure what 3 stars mean. I'm actually looking for 3 stars as we speak.
Maybe it's just a gen.
It might still be general. Because general... 3s, 4s, 6s and 7s, it says, according to this...
He also has like a badge with wings. I thought that was something to do with like the SAS.
no, that's Air Force.
Oh.
But the SAS, it does stand for Special Air Services.
Special
Special Air Services. I'm not sure if you have pilots within that. I guess they draw their ranks from like various spheres of the Army and Navy, I think, and the Air Force. So maybe they do. But yeah, SAS stands for Special Air Services. But I always thought that related to them doing parachute jumps or halo drops, which stands for High Altitude Low Landing.
Oh.
So they go
like what they did in Iraq.
almost to the atmosphere, and they have these special suits on with oxygen, and they jump, and then they open the chute like 200 or 300 feet above ground, so they're like, and they're down, so no one sees them.
Have you seen like the night vision video recordings of when the SAS like drop into these camps in like Iraq or somewhere?
No, I haven't.
They're amazing. They've sent these guys to go in and do a job. They literally get dropped. They go in and they're in and out literally within 2 minutes, and they literally kill the whole camp.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts. It's the speed at which they go. You're just like, fucking hats off.
Have you seen that documentary when they overtook the the Iranian embassy in 1981?
Oh, is that when they all go into the house, into the that big political building? Thatcher sent them in. Yeah,
but they can't get in there, so they
And you
go
see them
into
going
they're
around
going
the-
through the skylight, but they fuck that up and like make loads of noise.
Yeah.
And then some guy's trying to swing down and crash through the windows like in an action movie, and he can't get through. And then there's another guy on the other thing trying to like get in the door, and then a hostage opens the hostage comes to the window, and he's like saying get back, but he can't say anything. He's just signaling to him, and then he puts like C4 around the window, blows it up. They go in there, they shoot everyone, and when they're like loading all the people out,
one of them is the terrorist.
Them is a terrorist. He's not
and the
sure about
guy
him.
who's trained, the training is so specific, he recognises him and he fucking takes him out.
I don't think he does recognise him. I think he just takes a chance on it because he looked a bit dodgy.
No, he recognised him. There's a whole documentary on it.
I've watched 2 of them in the last 12
Alright,
months.
it's not a fucking competition. You're not in the SAS, you faggot.
So yeah,
We actually missed something in the last episode, which I'd actually like to bring to the attention of.
Okay.
This one. So at the very end of the last 2 minutes of the last episode, we have Brewster saying, "Oh God, I hate machines." Ooh, little does she know.
yeah, it's ironic, isn't it? Because the dad is working essentially for the army, which creates Skynet.
Yep.
That was good.
I'd just like to add that in. I might not have energy, but I've got some goddamn good facts.
Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger put up 1.4 million of his own salary to ensure
of his
that.
own sadness.
Yeah. Here's my sadness, 1.4 million of it. Yeah, he put up 1.4 million of his own salary to ensure a key scene where the construction crane smashes into the glass building and was shot. They didn't have enough money to do it, so he put up his own money. As Arnold made up, I think, about $90 million.
Yeah.
That wasn't really much for him. Director Jonathan Mostow, he was apparently worried that the film was going to run behind schedule and over budget, so Arnie paid for the glass building.
Well done, Arnie. Well done. Dedication to the cause.
And it says here Arnold worked out for 6 months, about 3 hours a day before the shooting started, by which time he had the exact body weight and muscle measurements that he had 12 years previously when shooting Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
I can believe that, but obviously the elasticity of your skin,
He was
like
probably puffing his chest
your
out.
body changes. Like,
it?
yeah, of course it does. Your body's constantly changing.
What, will I age then and die?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, you might not. You're a bit of an enigma. Your
Enigma.
you're not.
Edward Nigma.
Your punishment is to walk the earth forevermore.
I'm a bit like Raoul the Cyclops in Kroll.
Yeah.
Despite being all powerful and immortal,
And having 2 eyes.
you are aware that the day of your death, essentially, and that's the curse that they are like bestowed
You're more
upon
like Bluto.
for having second sight, which is, I guess, a form of telepathy. The first scene of the department store, Ellie, was the first day Kate Brewster, or Claire Danes, was actually filming. That's her first night filming.
I have a question to ask.
Yeah, well, they did night shoots, by the way, so the department store was free and it wasn't business hours. News.
Why is she getting married? She clearly doesn't want to.
She does want to.
Does she?
We didn't watch this film first, did we, before seeing it or doing these bits? But I think she basically wants a connection with her father, and he's always busy at work. He's like, oh, I'm sure I'll meet him at some point. She's like, yeah, at the wedding.
Mm.
So I guess that's her disgruntlement with her dad more than anything.
It's not so much that, but he's just like, I still can't believe you're getting married. And she goes, yeah, neither do I. And kind of like rolls her eyes. And then she looks at that picture, when you go into a shop and you get the frames and they'll have those fake pictures. And she
like
looks
a spoon.
Yeah. Yes. And she looks at it and it's a happy couple. She doesn't look at that like longingly and dreaming, thinking, oh, that's going to be me. Look at her face, dude. She's like, am I doing this? Really, am I doing this? Am I marrying this fucking sap?
Dweeb. Well, she meets
Who's
John
young,
Connor
but
this
whose
night.
hair's clearly thinning, by the way.
Well, actually, the Scott Peterson, basically, is the name of the character in this, who's her beau or fiancé.
Her beau.
Now, in the film that you're actually watching, his name was changed from Scott Peterson. I think it was it was changed to Scott Mason.
Right.
The reason they changed that is because around the same time, Scott Peterson was a California man convicted of murdering his pregnant wife and their unborn child in late 2002 while out fishing.
Fucking hell.
So the subplot of the fiance's kidnapping obviously was a bit weirdly similar. So they altered that slightly and they changed the character's name from Scott Peterson, which is the name of this guy that murdered his wife and unborn child while fishing, to Scott Mason. However, if you watch the credits, the character name is actually Scott Peterson.
So that's a cock up.
Yeah.
Cock up. Bing.
That should be in Goofs.
That should be in Goofs. Isn't it a shame how mass murderers and just serial killers and generally fucked up people ruin names? Like, when was the last time you met someone called Hitler?
On Tuesday. I haven't met anyone called Hitler.
That's a lie. You haven't left the house.
The character of Scott in the film, by the way, sells pharmaceuticals for a living, according to the script.
What is this army kind of building?
It's the bunker in the mountain where they're testing all these things. I guess it's a little
Is
bit
that
like.
where the aliens are?
I guess it's a little bit like Area 51.
Oh.
So how they actually fly to it later on in the film and get in quite easily, I have no idea.
What if it's that mountain where they see all the like UFO activity and like where Bigfoot is and all that in California?
Are you thinking of Mount Shasta?
Yes.
Mysterious Mount Shasta views
Yes.
where loads of like random UFO sightings are seen.
Where Danny Dye goes, I can't fucking believe it, mate.
Danny
oh my
Dye
God.
did
I'm
a
seeing
show
with my own eyes.
on UFOs.
It's fucking amazing. Oh my God, mate, look at that one. He shot right across my head. Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. Fucking banjo bananas. Fucking love that shit. It's so funny. Although, what's even funnier is a clip that Ethan sent me the other day about these dudes that work on fairground rides. and about how much pussy the waltzers get you. He's just like, yeah, my mates have come over. They look onto the floor, and all I can see is my bum and her nipple. It's so fucking good. Can you link that?
I can't because it was within the cunt cave, the private.
No, but you
group on Facebook.
filmed it and you sent it to me.
You need to invite Spalding to the cunt cave.
Yeah, he's worthy. I think Spalding. It's like the other day you were trying to invite someone else who I shan't mention. It's like, no fucking way.
That's who I said.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You said Mr. Tumnus.
Oh, Martin.
You fucking idiot.
I think him more than anyone would be a perfect candidate.
Yeah, but I just feel like he doesn't deserve it right now.
Oh.
He's behaved very badly, and he doesn't wash up. Have you seen the state of the kitchen, by the way? Jesus Christ.
No.
It's like Armageddon in the sink.
Armageddon out of here.
Armageddon out of here.
Here's something for you to read, Ellie. It's about your favourite character of this clip, Kate Brewster's father.
Okay, right. Let's turn it so I can actually see. Get the
Into
mic.
The mic, Eddie. Into
Get the mic in my face. Okay. So, the novelisation. I can see it, you fuck. Okay, I'm going to try not to swear.
You've got to stop swearing on the show, dude.
I'm sorry. The novelisation gives us some background information on Kate's relationship with her father. General Brewster was such a workaholic. His wife left him. Boo-hoo. Mrs. Brewster approved of Kate.
Pressure to perform. This is what auditions are like, Ellie. Come on, keep it together.
Mrs. Brewster approved of Kate's engagement.
Should we start again?
But Kate wanted... No! Okay. But Kate wanted her father's approval too. God. Daddy issues. He granted it, but never met Scott. Kate was an only child. Oh, it's just like Ethan. Also, she's not sure about marrying Scott. See, I told you! And he is nervous about meeting her father. Isn't every dude who has to meet the father of the woman he's marrying. Kate enjoys working with animals. Oh, God.
She likes rainy days and sunsets.
And having baths and talking about her feelings. She's a lesbian. That's why she doesn't want to marry him, because you know where you stand with them. When Kate was born, her family was stationed in Germany at Ramstein. Stop shaking your fucking head at me. And I just swore again. Because she was born as an Air Force child. It explains why she knows the difference between him. Why'd you get me to read these things?
Because I'm including you in the show.
Well, don't bother. It explains why she knows the difference between a real gun and a paintball gun. When John pulls one on her, I literally can't read. I can't read.
In the novelisation, it gives us some background information onto Kate's relationship with her father, General Brewster, who was such a workaholic, he has left his wife. Mrs. Brewster approved of Kate's engagement, but Kate wanted her father's approval too. He granted it, but never met Scott. Kate was an only child, and she is not sure about marrying Scott, and he is nervous about meeting her father. Kate enjoys working with animals because you know where you stand with them. When Kate was born, her family was stationed in Germany at Ramstein. Is that Ramstein? Because she was born as an Air Force child, it explains why she knows the difference between a gun and a paintball gun when John pulls one on her.
So that's kind of like another fact attack.
I should be in the fucking Globe.
Wep.
I should be in Shakespeare's Globe. And now I read a passage from the novelisation of Terminator 3 by Alan Dean Foster. The novelisation gives us I'm going to say it again. Should we move on to cock-ups, Ellie?
Yes, cock up. Bing!
This entire show. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
He's not there.
In Kate Brewster's first scene in the department store, she talks to her father on a small, light-coloured Nokia phone with blue illuminated keys. She receives a message from the veterinary clinic. Well, the alarm. Oh, God. All right. She receives an alarm from the veterinary clinic on her phone.
Yeah.
But it says here it's most likely a Nokia 6200.
Yeah.
But she calls 911 from the clinic. All right, basically, in the scene when she's talking to her father between minutes 10 and 12, she's talking to her father on a small light-coloured Nokia phone with blue illuminated keys.
9/11 Illuminati.
Now, when she receives a veterinary clinic message to the same phone, allegedly, which is most likely Nokia 6200, she calls 911 from the clinic van with a much larger plain black phone with a non-retractable antenna, most likely a 6160, a Nokia.
Right.
So basically, it's one phone in the department store, a Nokia 6200, and then when she makes the 911 call later in the film from the veterinary van in the clinic, it's most likely a Nokia 6160.
Right, okay. I can understand that's a cock-up, but back in those days, actually, no, I'm thinking more back to like the 80s, they had like in-car phones, so maybe she has a phone for the van. Maybe that's the work phone.
I think when we get to it, this is a cock-up, obviously, for another episode that I've put ahead of time, because when you do this for 16 hours without a break, admittedly, your wiring gets a little, like, twisted.
Yeah, twisted wires. Lovely chest, but full of wires. What's the significance of the snake, Ethan?
I don't know. I suppose it's just a little bit of a CGI flourish that Jonathan Mostow
Is that a
wanted to show
CGI snake? Is that not a real snake?
I'd imagine it is.
So
Unless it's a real snake they've composited into it, but it most likely...
Oh, it looks pretty CGI, actually,
Well, I mean,
doesn't
to get it to, like, do that perfectly, maybe it's a rattlesnake.
A rattling snake?
It's a rattlesnake, so I suppose it's just to convey, like, the isolation and the danger of the desert, basically.
Is that a real moon?
Probably not.
No.
Well, I don't know. Most CG composited elements that are put into scenes, a bit like digital matte paintings, most likely, I'd imagine, are real elements, and then they film them or photograph them, and then they put them into a scene like this. So most likely, yes, it could be a real moon.
And so do we know which area this is?
No.
No. Why? Why? Why?
It just wasn't in my exhaustive research.
I wonder why he came back. Oh, I say came back.
Well, that's the thing in the films. I mean, when they send people back,
The most random places.
yeah, I thought you would appear kind of in the same place where
In
that
here,
machine was,
yeah.
but in the past.
Yeah.
But it obviously controls time and space because they appear in different places.
Have you ever noticed they always appear at night time?
Yeah,
No, you haven't.
yeah.
Really?
Well, I suppose it looks more dramatic, doesn't it?
I guess.
Oh, by the way, there's some film news for you. In fact, by the way, as we mentioned on last night's show, the Arnold Schwarzenegger commentary segments, when he talks about like the inflating breasts and things, I'm going to put that as the end credits song for today's episode. So look forward to that, listeners. But as you may or may not know, if you've not been watching the 2-Minute Terminator Facebook page, Paramount Pictures has cancelled the next installment of the Terminator Genesis proposed trilogy. So it's been wiped from the slate. All the other movies for the next like 2 years, including like the next Mission Impossible film and stuff like that, all their big summer
Which I
tentpole
will go
movies.
and see.
Sadly, they've removed Terminator. It's actually called in the trade papers as Terminator 2. Well, that's a bit of a cheat.
What?
Really.
How can they get away with that?
Because it's their Terminator 2. Terminator Genesis essentially meant to be...
Could they not get sued for that?
Well, no, because they bought the rights for the Terminator films, haven't they?
Yeah, but how can you call it a name that it's already been called?
Well, they're just calling it that in kind of abbreviated passing.
Okay.
Because technically, Terminator Genesis was the first of a new trilogy of films. Kind of like a reboot, if you will.
So it's kind of like Star Wars, basically.
Yeah.
Ugh. Have you noticed that there's 7 different clumps of tumbleweed in this particular frame?
I have, and they've got different names. Larry, Curly and Moe, and Bonzo, and what's the other one called? Lobo, which I guess is named after the DC Comics character.
Tumbleweed?
Yeah.
There's different types of tumbleweed?
Well, no, but they're not. No, maybe there are. I don't know. But in the film, they named them.
Oh my god, that's so weird.
I didn't really. I made that up.
You fucker! I'm the most
How
gullible...
did you not know I did that?
Because I'm the most gullible person for at least 5 seconds of time.
So anyway, yeah, it says here he may not be back. The follow-up to Genesis might be terminated. So basically, Terminator 6, which is hilariously being referred to in the trade papers as Terminator 2, was scheduled to be released a week prior to Star Wars Episode 8's previous release date, which was on May the 19th of next year. They've actually moved Star Wars now to the following Christmas. It will come out 2 years from now, basically, which I think is better because they'll have more time to actually...
People to forget how shit the last movie was.
Yeah. In fact, weirdly, I was looking on IMDb, all the like user reviews, which is like regular people, not critics from like any publications or websites. I went 26 pages in. I found 3 positive reviews. Everyone else was of disappointment and hatred and really like
Hate.
vitriolic, stuff basically.
So people with real opinions.
Yeah.
Or should I say their own real opinion, as opposed to, yeah, it's great, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon, it's Star Wars.
But basically, on May the 19th of next year, Terminator 6 or Terminator Genesis 2 was meant to come out like on May the 19th next year, basically. Sadly, Paramount has now set their Baywatch movie for that date and has basically said Terminator is not on their roster of films to be made. It made $440 million worldwide, which I guess is a hit because it was $180 million, I think, to make. So technically, it's actually cheaper than Terminator 3 cost 13 years ago.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
So yeah, it's basically put on indefinite hold. So that's
What's the
end of that.
name of the actress that's in the new Suicide Squad film? The really hot one.
Margot Robbie.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
What a shit name.
She's in The Wolf of Wall Street.
I
Have you
know.
seen that, Ellie?
Yes, and I've read the book.
She's mostly naked.
I know.
Is the book better than the film?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it actually goes further into his drug taking and the amount of drugs that he has to take to overcome the side effects of the other drugs that he's taking to come off the illegal drugs that he takes.
Do you feel he kind of embellished a lot of that so it sounds even more crazy than it was?
No, because that's the real story.
Is it though?
Yeah. It's really weird because this is when I worked at Just Retirement about 4 years ago. There's a library right next door.
Mm-hmm.
And I can be a bit geeky at times. And I didn't really get on with the people that I worked with at Just Retirement, so I'd go to the library. And one time I went in there and I just saw this book and it just said The Wolf of Wall Street. Now I weirdly have a bit of an interest in economics and supply and demand and about how money works and things like that. And I was like, The Wolf of Wall Street. Wall's pretty cool. Wall Street is quite interesting. So I picked up this book and I started reading it and I was like, oh my god, this is fucking amazing. Read it within like a week. Then gave it to my dad. Then he read it and he thought it was fucking amazing. And then literally about 6 months later, they were like, oh my god, Leonardo DiCaprio is going to be in this new film. It's called The Wolf of Wall Street. And I was like, oh my god. So yeah, I literally read it 6 months before it actually came out. And I had no idea they were going to make a movie out of it.
Does the book follow the film in any way, or is it kind of nothing really like it?
No. It is very much like it, but obviously the book goes into a lot more detail, and it kind of goes into a lot more of his psychological demise. Whereas in the film, it's more about his empire that falls around him, and the fact that, you know, the woman that he loves, who doesn't actually really love him, how that all falls apart. There's a lot of kind of like physical abuse in the relationship. Like she smashes shit up. She burns all the. No, he smashes like all her shit up. He burns all the clothes that he bought her because he basically realizes that she's just with him for the money. And it's more about his kind of psychological demise. And yeah, it's really, really, really good. Good read. It's quite a big book though.
Pages and pages. Mm-hmm. The next episode, can you do like a one chapter sight reading of The Wolf of Wall Street while we record you?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Why would you want me to do that?
Because I'm a douche.
Yeah, but what's that? I'm so confused.
Kate's, well, you asked this the other day as well. The Scott Peterson, a.k.a. Scott Mason, even though his name's Scott Peterson in the credits, the murderer of his wife and blah, blah. The character that Kate's going to marry, the seller of pharmaceuticals, the actor is played by Mark Famiglietti.
Well, he looks gay.
It's Mark Famiglietti. I'm assuming that's an Italian name. He's born in 1979 in Providence,
An Italian
Rhode
with
Island.
blue eyes.
I don't know.
Bullshit.
He's been in Premonition 2007, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, of course, the thing we're actually watching, The Secret in Their Eyes. Watching. He's been in episodes of Mad Men. He's done video games like X-Men Destiny. And his career began with Zoe, Duncan, Jack and Jane in 1999.
He plays a faggot in every single one. The reason I brought up Margot is I reckon she would have made quite a good female Terminator.
Yeah, she mentioned it the other day. But she wasn't obviously discovered then, and she's only, I think, 24 now, so she'd have been about...
She's 24?
Yeah, she looks quite old for her
What
age,
is
doesn't
it
she?
with these chicks that look like women who are really young? Like, half the girls you know that you flirt with on Facebook, they look like fucking women, like actual women, and then
Now
you're
you're
like...
making me sound really creepy. How old are they?
Well, I'm not going to mention names, but they're all like 21, 22.
Who?
Well, Vasilise is like 22 or something,
I
isn't
mean,
she?
she's 20. No, Vasilise is 24.
Okay, still, she looks like a fucking woman. I swore again. Now, she looks like a woman, and she's how old?
23.
That's... It's nuts! It's crazy.
I went out with now.
Did you actually?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, you never
Seen
said
each
that.
other for about 6 months.
Oh.
Yeah.
You just drip feed this information.
Now
through, don't you?
Nabarro. Google it. 2 R's. Nabarro.
This is Ethan's claim to fame.
She's like Bridget Nielsen. She's a giant Swedish woman.
Swedish.
Woman.
She's like heroin chic.
Yes.
She looks like she's totally smacked off her face all the time, but she does have a ridiculous body.
Superhero lines.
No, I wouldn't even say superhero lines. I'd say, well, superhero lines makes me think kind of muscular and sculpted. Nell's very slim, but she's got this incredible rack, and she is very tall. Isn't she like 7 foot?
She's probably like 5, 10 or 11.
Oh, so that was a lie then.
We'll link her in the notes for this show.
Hopefully that'll get the viewings up.
Yeah.
Like the live dolls did. Google Nell Navarro. Ethan's fucked her.
God. Thank you for listening, everyone. It's been episode 6. We shall return tomorrow with episode 7, which is minutes 12 to 14.
Yay.
We'll try and corral the little firebrand that is Ellie and get her back in the pasture. Maybe put a brand on her bum, so we know she belongs to this show.
Shaped like a golf ball, which is kind of how the ball of energy looks right now.
It does. The time displacement arrival sphere
Looks like a golf ball.
with the matter annihilation bubble around it does look a bit like a golf ball because they've added this weird kind of crisscrossy pattern effect.
And if it's electricity, why are things burning?
Because electricity can create fire.
Can it?
Well, if a lightning bolt hits a tree in a dry desert environment especially, you'd probably start a fire.
Yeah, probably would actually. Just passing thought.
Anything more to add, Ellie?
No, I'm going to remove my ignorance.
And I'm going to remove the show from your ears. Thank you for listening, everyone.
Hasta la vista.
Baby. You bugger.
I am back. How can you make this thing go and do wheelies? That was the big challenge. And from that point on, this crane goes absolutely berserk. But the wheelies is what I like the most. The only thing that makes me really angry is not that I was smacked in the fire truck, but that my sunglasses were damaged. Because Terminator is hung up on his sunglasses, and I was every day ready for all the scenes and all the dialogue. And underneath my finger, and it almost blew my finger off because they made a mistake of where to put the explosives. So wipe out that marble wall was a thick 2-inch thick marble that I punched through with ease. And then finally, after he says, go ahead, shoot, try it, she shoots me right in the mouth. Well, we see her drilling also into my brain right after she kicks my head off, and it's just hanging on cables. And I think when the idea came up of using a female Terminator, I said to myself, oh, this is great, because now we have something different. Then I just have to see my naked body arriving every time when I come back from the future to the present time. Let's have a sexy girl for a change arrive from the future to the present time with a sexy body and just a knockout 10 figure and great physical appearance and beautiful face. This scene with the enlargement of the breasts was fantastic because, again, it was one of those things. I mean, in the movie it was used kind of like, okay, if that's what guys would like to see, if this world deals with big breasts, then so be it, I'm gonna just have bigger breasts. But in the audience, there was this kind of like immediately you saw women sitting there telling each other, oh, that's a great idea. You have to check out where you get that done. Because there's some guys that like little breasts and there's some guys that like big breasts. So wouldn't it be nice if you can play both sides, sometimes even simultaneously. There's certain things we can't do to women on the screen. But because we established very quickly that it is a machine underneath and not a woman, we therefore got away with much more, and therefore we expanded the fight sequence, and I wipe her out, the female Terminator, could totally mow her into the ground, just totally destroy her. Where I arrive again naked. I always am known as being, the muscular guy, the guy that won the Mr. Universe contest, the guy that won the most world championships in bodybuilding, the guy that was known for having the most muscular body. Oh my God, did you see Schwarzenegger naked? Yeah, he showed his butt. I even saw something in front. Well, let's see the difference between Arnold Schwarzenegger, the way he looked as Terminator in the 1984 picture. Divide the screen into 3 sections. It will be the first Terminator, and there will be my naked body, and there will be the second Terminator with my naked body, and then there will be the third one. Eat me.
Hi, I'm Chief Master Sergeant William Candy.
So I hope it gave you a little bit of insight and that you enjoy watching this DVD, because I think it's a great luxury to have the directors and the stars, all of them make some comments throughout the film. Wipeout